Yay, we're live. So, welcome to Tales by Lucy. Today, my second guest is my sister-in-law, and I'm really excited about this. I've been wanting, I knew that I have to have her over, and I'm just excited for you guys to get to know her and her experiences. And go ahead and introduce yourself. Let me see. Here she is.
Hi. You're muted now?
Yeah, I'm muting you. You may talk now. Now I'm gonna be like those shows. Please, what did I say last time? Share your story with me. So if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Erika, and I'm your sister-in-law.
I hope.
Hello, and tell you.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, hold on. You're freezing a little bit.
Oh, ooh. Is that Cece?
Huh?
Is that Cece on?
No, Cece. Oh yeah, Cece and Anna and Hoodrat. That's another guy that I love his his name Hoodrat Comics. And Ruben and Jeanette. So okay, so let's get this thing going. My hair. Sorry, my hair looks all crazy because of the headphones. Hold on. There. It goes back the same. Anyways, okay. Let's this thing going. My first question is gonna be: when was your first ghost experience? What was your first your ghost experience?
So my first experience, I think, was when we lived in Cabazon.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. I think I was like 5. And I was in the middle room, and I remember my mom was in the kitchen. So like the way my bed was facing, it was facing the door, and the kitchen was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Joe, our stepdad, told my mom like, "Oh, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get coffee, whatever." And he left. And I was taking a nap, and I remember getting up and seeing a guy walk back and forth really quick while my mom was like in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And after, Mom, is Dad still here? And she was like, No, he's gone. He's been gone. And I was like, oh, hell no.
Oh my gosh. So, that was the first one of many?
And that I remember.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that house you said it was where at?
In Cabazon.
In Cabazon. And did more stuff happen there as after you saw that first one?
Yeah, there was one time. I think this is the only experience Sam I've ever had with ghosts or anything, because he's not a believer. But me and Mal were playing in their room, and it was really dark in the room, and we were playing under the blankets and all that, and we just see a light, like an orb, flying through the room. I know Mal remembers that because we talk about that sometimes, and that was we like held on to each other. And Sam and I didn't say anything, but Mal and Sam were like, "Do you see that? Do you see that?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh hell!" I was like,
"Yeah." Go ahead.
But I kind of remember. Other than that, like Rose and Mal and Jay Albie, they're the ones that had it in Cabazon.
Yeah, they're family members, his brother siblings. Sam is my husband. That's their siblings. Oh, yeah. And okay, so that was like what you remember there. And which one has been like the scariest so far?
So I've lived in Cabazon, Palm Springs, and then Virginia, which was also haunted. But the most scary house that I've ever lived in was when I lived from 4th grade up until I was 16, maybe 17. We lived in North Palm Springs on McCarn. That was
my God, I have heard so many stories of that house.
it's so scary. Like we don't like to talk about it too much, just because like living there all those years, we've experienced so much stuff. It's so crazy that we even survived there. Sam, nothing happened to him, but
I know
but
my husband doesn't believe in that stuff, or I guess he tries not to believe in it.
that's
But what happened in that? Tell me a few stories from that house.
stories. Okay, so background. I think the house had been in the family since the 60s or 50s. All the 50s or 60s. The 50s. So that house has been in the family for a really long time, and we moved in there. Okay,
Yeah,
my sisters who are like 14, 20 years older than me, when they were young,
yeah,
they had experienced lots of stuff. So before we had moved into that house, they had told me stories about things, and I was already ready to live there. I wasn't ready to live there. Um, so one of the first memories I remember having was sleeping in the room with Rose and Jay. Justin was little, and I was
that's your sister and your nephew.
yes,
Okay.
sorry, Rose, Jay were in the room, and I was on the side next to the wall, and I remember hearing, like the old TVs, the buttons, like when you could like this. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
I was hearing that on the TV, like if someone was like messing with it, like trying to turn it on, and you could feel this. I'm getting scared. this the presence, like heavy feeling
Hmm.
of there, and I couldn't see it, but I could feel it, and the way I felt it is like I'm watching it move from the door, coming around the bed by the TV, and that
Scary.
it sat on the edge of the bed.
Hmm.
Oh, please protect us. And
That's
I'm like, oh, and
so scary.
Rose and Jay did not wake up, and I was like, what is happening? Huh? And I was so scared, and then it got up, and then I saw it. I felt it like walking, around to my side.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills.
No, that to me, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, Rose always told me like to pray to Jesus, to God, and I was like, oh Jesus, please help me, let it go away. And I was like, please, please. I was like, why did we have to move in here? And it probably that happened to me several times. Uh, oh, uh,
That's
sorry, I'm getting scared.
of your own story. That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
and there was a story about I don't know who told me, but I remember I don't know if it was just my sister Josie, or I think it was my sister Josie had said that there's been stories about someone like doing that in the house, like they've
Hmm.
experienced the same thing. So that really scared me. Um, so that was one of the things.
Hmm.
Uh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm really thinking about because every day we basically were haunted. I mean, there
Yeah.
was never we never slept easy. And I
Yeah.
don't know how Jeanette, my niece, and Albie ever came and spent the night over because they knew Albie needs a lot of stuff, but I do not know how they wanted to stay with us, even though the house is haunted.
Oh my
The
goodness. Oh my God. I remember one story that you told me, the one about that same shadow. I the way I remember, it was kind of like the ring, how it crawls. The one you told
um,
me that. Remember that one that you told me about? I'm sure you remember.
yeah, that's like the
I want you to say that one because I know that one. I will never forget the one you told me.
so
That story.
uh, okay. So when so Sam used to work graveyard at Albertsons, and so I would sleep in the room.
Is this in the same house, the McCarn
Yes,
house?
in
Okay.
house. And I would kind of crack the door open so like the nightlight in the living room would shine in, and I would
Hmm.
sleep. And it would always be around the same time, like two or like between 1 a.m. to 3. a.m.
You know the say about that 3 a.m. I'm so scared to wake up at the 3 a.m.
The hoeing hour. I'm just kidding. No,
The hoeing hour. No, that was when we were young. No, not anymore.
that was Rose's hoeing. So I heard because Sam's door is heavy, but you could when you move it, it made noise, and so I like,
yeah. Oh.
I woke up and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then I was hearing like things like the TV, like if it was someone pressing the buttons again, and so the hallway's in front of Sam's room, and it was really dark, and the door opens, and you can see like a head like kind of like and turning. I can't see it because it's really was like, and you could feel like it rush to you, and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't move, and I was so scared I couldn't even reach the light, and the door opened, Sam's door opened more and more, and you can see that it was a woman crawling on the floor. You couldn't see her. She was all black. She had long hair, and she was crawling on the floor. She always was crawling on the damn floor. And
I'm scared. My feet. I need to put my feet up.
she first said, I'm so scared. She was at the end of the bed first, and she kind of crawled up, had her hands up like this, and then she went down and walked to the side of the bed, right here of me, and she got up again, and I was like, hell no, jumped up, turned on the light, and nothing was there. I was so scared that I went to go sleep in with Rose.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sweating one because I always get nervous doing the lives, two because this is freaking scary, and I know you always like I heard this story before because we love stories. Me and Erika, we used to live together, all of us, and we will watch Ghost Adventures, and we will talk about our experiences and stuff like that, and I have heard some of them, and it's still like it freaks me. It's still so scary.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And like I know, like Jay had experienced that. I think Mal has seen that. I think Rose did, but my nephew. So when Josie had moved back from Virginia, they lived with us for a little bit. So it was my nephew Joshua, Damien, and Serena.
Yeah.
Josh had he could always see something. I don't know, Jeanette, Albie, Joshua, they can see ghosts.
There's all siblings. Those three are siblings. Yeah. Okay. Jeanette's saying right here, tell about the dream we had and what happened to the picture. I want to know about that one.
Oh, okay. So Josh, we were having lunch at the dining room table, and we had this old TV that I don't know whose TV. I think it was Sam or Rose's, and it was on the floor by the dining table. And Josh I was at this side, and he was at the end, so across from me. And we were just eating, and he started to look scared, and he was like, "Auntie, can I sit next to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, come on, why? What's wrong?" And he was like, "I'm scared." I'm like, "Why?" And I'm trying to be brave because I'm scared because I know there's something going on.
Yeah.
I think he was only like 4 years old.
I was just gonna ask you, how old was he?
Yeah, he was only 4. Now he's like 21 and 22, but he was 4, and he was walking. So he went around, and he was walking towards me, and he had to cross where the TV was, and he stopped right there, and he was like, "Ah!" And he like was kicking something. Like he was kicking something on the floor, and I was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And he jumped on me. He was like crying, and he said that from out of the table, under the table, there was a woman crawling inside the TV, and he said that she looked at him, and she had like a face, like a demon, basically.
Yeah.
She crawled into I'm getting chills. She crawled into the TV, and he was like kicking. He was like kicking. I couldn't see it, but he was kicking it, and I was so scared. I think I was scared for months after that. I mean, she she still would do that, like crawl and try to scare us and stuff. And I was, I started to get used to it. It was still scary, but I was.
Yeah. It's like,
That's one of the scary things that I've experienced in that house.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ruben said that he has heard stuff about Cabazon, and let's see. Sam said he ain't afraid of ghosts. uh, Hooray! He said that's why I bought a new house. I ain't messing with the scary scary ass shit in the old homes. Seriously, why? Like it's always but yeah, bless the house. Remember seeing her in Sam's room, and Mel said, "Tell her about the old lady." Mel sibling. He said, "Tell us about the old lady."
Oh, okay. So one night, me and Justin, my nephew, were sleeping in the living room. Oh yeah, sorry I left you. I had to think really fast. I had to protect myself.
Well, you were young. How old were you? Like, I'm sure you were young, right?
I was a teenager, probably like 6th or 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like your cup.
Oh yeah, she made me this cup, guys.
And, so I woke up because there are stories about that we've heard from like family members living there that sometimes late at night you can smell like someone was cooking, which is
oh my god, so scary. I just saw something like I didn't see her head. I just saw. I'm like, the old lady's right there.
the crazy hair, and so I was sleeping, and you can smell like someone was frying fish. That's what it smelled like. It smelled like fish. And I woke up and I thought it was my mom, having her late munchies.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, what are you cooking? It smells good. Didn't respond to me, had her back turned to me. Her body was shaped like my mom, had like curly hair like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't respond to me. And I couldn't see her face because it was dark. The stove light was on. So she grabs her plate, walks. He was sleeping. And then she walks to her room down the hallway. No lights on. She's walking in the dark. I was like, Mom, where are you going? Like, I want some.
Give me that food.
So I went and I looked down the hallway and it was dark. Nothing. My mom's room light wasn't even on. Her door was open, but there was no lights on. So I went in there. I'm like, Mom, I'm talking to you. And she was sleeping. I got so scared. I jumped in the bed with her, and I felt so bad I left Justin there, but I was not going to go back out.
So you follow her, and once you went into her room, she wasn't even up. She was sleeping.
But
she wasn't walking, like she wasn't sleepwalking, sleep cooking. Oh my gosh.
That was the ghost of Arnold and Richie's grandmother, which is my cousin's grandmother. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna share one when we lived together. It was you and your husband, Donnie and Sam and the kids, and he will work sometimes in the morning or afternoons. And remember, like I had my door cracked open and I saw somebody passing by with a white T-shirt and walking towards the kitchen. And then when he then I just saw him walking to the kitchen. Then I didn't pay attention anymore, and I was watching TV. And I was like, "Oh, what?" And then I asked you, "Hey, what time is Donnie going to work?" And you're like, "He's already at work." I'm like, "What do you mean he's already at work? I just saw him passing by to the kitchen." Like,
I'm like, "Girl, he's not there."
Oh my god, are you serious? It was a man with black hair, and like I didn't really pay attention to the height, and like. I'm like, no, I just saw somebody walking. And I didn't realize I saw something till like later. And that's how usually it will happen, to me, like things that I didn't realize it was something not normal till later. Thank God, knocking wood.
Oh, I think, Ari.
But I remember you said, oh, maybe it was my dad, which he passed away a while ago. And I'm like, and remember that house right there too. Little things did happen, like we'll hear little things, but
in the house,
El Paseo, yeah, in Palm Springs too. In that neighborhood, we lived is really old, and they didn't say what it used to be, like a base or something.
place for like the military. They would
Yeah.
camp there wounded. I think that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. And I know I have heard there's like crazy stuff that happened in that neighborhood too, but I'm guessing also like the McCarn, like it's, I mean, Palm Springs is pretty old, and it was also Coachella Valley, wasn't it? Like most of it Indian land in Native American, and
Mhm.
so we are, I mean, living here. So I know a lot of places where my mom has lived, too. Um, Especially in one that is not far from us. It was a little girl, and that again, I want to have my mom over, and so she can talk about all that stuff. Because again, that house, nothing happened to me, but everybody else, it
Is
did.
that by the park by Octillo Park?
Yeah, by the one by the Nellie Kaufman at the middle school. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's by there. Yeah, in my mom's house right now too. There's stuff happening to them too, and it's literally down the street from where that other little girl used to be at. Veterans Tract. Okay, that's where it calls where we used to live. Veterans Tract. And Jeanette just said. Um, Jeanette also said to tell them about the Last Supper picture that was thrown.
Okay. Oh my God, that was in McCarn house.
Also McCoy.
So we were sleeping in the den because there was like it was like a guest area. So me and her were sleep. She had spent the night, and we were sleeping. And I remember having a dream about the Last Supper, and
Mhm.
when I woke up because I heard like a noise, I opened my eyes just a little bit, and I saw right above the den. My mom had the painting of the Last Supper.
Mhm.
Right when I opened my eyes, I saw it fall, and me and Jeanette woke up and we're like, holy crap, what was that? And I told her that I had that dream, and she said she had the exact dream, and when she opened her eyes, she saw it fall. So we both woke up at the same time and saw the Last Supper fall at the same time.
Oh my dang! You guys are like telepathic twins.
Yeah, super, super.
Oh my goodness! You know what actually did happen a little bit ago when I was trying to set up? I was putting the headphones and I was trying to set up my mic and stuff like that. And there's a couple coins right here, like a penny and a 10 cents. And I don't know if you hear this. That
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. I don't know. Sam was like, I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? What was that? And I heard it twice. But there's nobody doing that. So
Earphones?
I could hear, I could hear that in my headphones, but then I took them off and I don't hear it. But then I put the headphones and I can hear that. It kind of creeped me out. So,
Headphones are haunted.
but hell no, shut up. No, not here.
They're gonna go
This
in
is
your
a safe place. Shut your mouth. Okay, Ruben said, Erika, have you heard of Aswang? He
Yeah.
has sent me a video about that, but I didn't watch it yet. I need to
Yeah.
watch it.
I've heard of it because my brother Sam is a Aswang. Yeah, that's scary. I will not mess with that. That's like Jeepers Creepers times 3.
Tell us what's that about? What is
The
it?
Filipino monster. Is it a woman, Martha?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if it's a woman or a man, but it's something, and all Filipinos know of Aswang. Yeah, Sam.
Guess he's one of them.
And I see a shadow in front of the olive tree.
I
So I see that bald shadow man.
I saw it too.
That you see. I see a
Sorry,
shadow
they want me to tell you something.
facing my
Oh, that's my other sister-in-law, Rose. I have a million sister-in-laws.
Just Mal, that's her sister Josie. She's
my bedroom window. And it's just the shadow of that
of him in the chair.
of that bald guy sitting facing my window.
He was like this.
Oh my God, Sam just said mom is an asshole. Samuel Labuen.
Awful. So Rose said something that had happened in my car and that she had experienced. So her window, many times, her window, in front of it is a olive tree, and she said she just had this feeling that somebody was there, and she said there was a figure of a like a bald man sitting in a chair in the olive tree, just in the front, just watching her.
Oh, he took his own little chair to
Face-
sit down.
Facing her window. Justin even saw that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Shut up.
Your brother. uh so everybody, did your mom ever experience anything like that? Did she ever tell you like that she will see things, so she would just ignore it too, or
She didn't really pay no mind because she was always working and always tired, so
Mhm.
she never slept. So I don't know, she was probably at the casino most of the time when we were getting haunted. So she might.
Oh my goodness. And when you lived in Virginia, did anything happen? Because obviously Virginia is like probably super haunted.
So is like,
Yeah.
that is super.
Oh look, at the same time, Jeanette asks, any Virginia stories?
Any third stories? Just kidding. Erika, tell him about the time I couldn't get out of my room. Oh yeah. Wait, Mal, was that in my car? Oh yeah, Mal. I'll never forget Mal. Okay, sorry. I'm going off before I go into the Virginia stories. In my car, my brother Mal. He before Sam had moved back. Mal used to be in that middle room, and he had clothes. And I remember I think he was taking a nap, and he could not open the door. He was like,
Is that Zoe?
yeah, Zoe. I would her, but her hair is crazy. And he couldn't get open the door, and he was like, help me get out of here.
Last story, that's last YouTube, I was talking about that too, how we got, and then later I remember that and then in another house, another uncle, like in aunt's house, that one, it's a huge house, and I remember also like we will get locked in the rooms too. That's the worst. That's a what?
That's the ghost locking you in there to take your soul.
Okay, tell us about Virginia.
So Virginia, I moved to Virginia when I was in the 8th grade. I was like 13. Moved to Virginia, and I lived with my sister Josie, my brother Mal, and my sister's husband, and my niece and nephews. And I'll never forget, I couldn't sleep at night, so I was in the living room watching TV, and you can see. So I'm facing, like, you're pretending you guys are the TV, and to my left was the kitchen, and it had an opening, and the floors creaked. So I remember watching TV, and you can hear everyone's sleeping. This is like 2 a.m, and you hear the floor creaking, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Chills.
I thought I saw like a shadow of a man, but I don't know what I saw. But that's probably like the only thing that I experienced in that apartment. And we ended up moving to this big house.
What is she doing? I can hear like she's like.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm like, what is that?
Don't do that. Go over there with your dad.
She's like, when I hear the ghost stories.
I'm just kidding. If you be quiet, I'll give you gummies.
Yeah, bribe her.
And we moved to this really big house. Had a beautiful backyard, and that's my nephew Joshua. He would always want to, because I shared a room with them, and he asked me to close the door because there was a man every night standing in the hallway. With red eyes. He was all black, but he only had red eyes. And my nephew Joshua said that he couldn't enter the room unless Joshua asked him to. And Josh was like, well, no, I'm not gonna invite you. What the hell? And
hell no.
And he said it was almost every night, and I would get so scared, and he would ask for me to close the door, and I would close it, or he would close it. He would like run and close the door. And living there, I remember
I need to have your nephew over. We probably the three of us. We gotta have him to see if he wants to talk about it.
Well, he's in North Carolina, and the one that's Josh is in the Army.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But you can ask Albie. He got a lot of scary stories.
Yeah, we should have him over too.
Jeanette, Jeanette's Albert's house is a portal. Sorry, Jen, I had to say that. Her dad's house is a
right
open.
right now, like it's stuff happens there.
I think I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you when I've experienced something at her dad's house, but in
This is recently.
yeah, I think it was Noah's birthday in
This is
May.
this year. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, at Albert's house. But in Virginia, I remember hearing a lot of voices, like if a man and woman were talking to each other, like I
Hmm.
could hear it in the walls. And our neighbors weren't close. They were
Hmm.
lived in like a not like a farm, but it was like kind of big.
Yeah.
And I remember Mal waking up and asking me like, Erica, like, are the kids playing in the kitchen? I'm like, no, because his room was right there by the kitchen, and he said that he could hear like someone running in the kitchen.
Oh.
And like, can let's sleep together. Can you sleep with me in my room? I'm like, oh my god, like why? Your room is the closest to like where all the ghosts are. I'm like, no.
Closer to the ghost. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I feel like remember also when we lived together, you used to hear that too. A man and a woman.
Actually, I did hear it for a really long time, even up until when I moved back to California. Um, I don't know. Mal and Rose always told me because I told Rose like I keep hearing like someone calling my name, and they're like talking to me, but it was like a low whisper. And Rose said probably demons like trying to take me. So I never answered because if you answered, they would haunt you, and I think that's why they haunted me for a while because I answered one time. I never, I never told anyone, but I had. I think yeah, everybody heard them. Sometimes I think
But yeah, because when we lived at that house, you were telling me like, especially at night in your room. Because remember, I used to tell you, I'm like, your room gives me the creeps. I don't like to be by myself in your room. It scares me. Like especially if you're in there, I'm like that door needs to be closed because and it's always somewhere like the room. It kind of creeps me out, and your room was the one. And I know a lot of stuff will happen in your room.
yeah, I'll never forget one time like I was hearing noise in my window, and when I opened the window, there was a black cat staring through the blinds.
Oh, that dirty, dirty cat trying to in the
um,
creek.
that house, I didn't experience too much. I think one after our dad had passed away, um, I remember coming home one night with Jeanette from we went to a house party, and we were,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little drunk, and I remember sleeping in one of the couches and waking up because I felt like something through the kitchen. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I felt someone staring at me, and I swear to God, it was my dad. And he looked so pissed off that I was too young out there partying. That's like the vibe that I had got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could have been my
He's
dad,
not
but
telling you, stop being. Just kidding. Mel, he said, although lady in your clothes in Lucy's closet. Heck no, Mel, shut it.
your room really. I think your closet really was haunted because when you guys moved out, and you know how Ari moved in there,
Yeah.
um, she's scared because she said that there was not a lady, but it was the man, which you talked about in a white T-shirt in
Oh,
the closet.
hell no. Are you serious? Oh my
Yeah, she got.
God.
She said that he was like it was cracked because she was like, Mom. So my back was turned towards the closet, and I was facing her, and I could see her like she was picking up her toys, but she kept looking in the closet. She was like, Mom, can I close the closet? I'm like, why? She was like, the guy
Oh,
keeps.
I remember. You
I'm like,
told me. And
oh
you know
hell.
what? I used to have that closet door closed all the time because it would give me the creeps. But I had that, but I didn't know. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh heck no. That is so good. Okay, so well, it's one place that you would like to visit that you know it's haunted. You know, like we watch those places. We like to watch abandoned houses and stuff like that. Well,
Louisiana,
that you would like to go and look at like houses out there.
Louisiana, and anything in the East Coast. There's a place that in Virginia, I think it's called Williamsburg. I think I've told
Oh
you
yeah, yes, yeah.
they did. Actually, they Rose, Jeanette, and all them. They had went to Virginia, and it's they.
Didn't Jeanette had some experiences there when they went?
Yeah, Annalise, she did. She said
Her
that
daughter.
she saw like people right Arthur? At the cemetery. So
They couldn't go into the church.
so they keep the town like from the 1600s. Everything is still like the same,
Mm-hmm.
and some houses are open, but some are closed. And if you look, you can see inside like it's all cobwebs, it's dusty, and they still have the cemetery because back in the days people would bury their families like in their own
Yeah.
backyard, and they
Yeah.
still have cemeteries and all that. And I guess Annalise was scared, right, off that.
Yeah, she couldn't go in the church anymore.
She couldn't go in the church because she was so scared.
And she's little. She is how old was she at the time? Because right now she's 7, 8.
Yeah, I think she was like two or
So-
three.
Yeah, she was little, right?
I think she was 3.
Her head down the whole time.
She kept her head down the whole time, like they would walk by the cemetery because she was so scared.
Well, one, I mean, it's already creepy, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, for a little girl to I mean, she can feel it. And then this comes from her mom that she has experienced stuff and she gets all those vibes, stuff like that. So
That's,
it's already in her blood from her uncles and everybody seen all that stuff.
she's half Indian, so she like has superpowers.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
She said, okay. Oh, she was 3 and she was screaming. She said she saw a lady and a child. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, heck no. Oh, no. Oh, no. But see, like, on Joe Rogan, we were listening, and then the guy, what's his name? The guy, Joe Rogan, he was saying, how come there's no ghosts in the beach?
David Chuck. Oh,
David
no.
Chuck.
He was telling Post Malone that.
Oh,
He was talking to Post Malone about ghosts on the beach.
okay. But before that, David Chuck.
After that, David Chuck was on.
Yeah, he's saying, how come there's no ghosts in the beach? How come they don't during the day? Yeah.
Well, I heard that if you take any like in Hawaii, if you take any rock or something from the beach, you'll be haunted. That's what I heard. I used to watch like scary stories.
Yeah.
I heard that you get like bad luck.
Even, I've been watching those abandoned homes and stuff like that. The Spanish one that I was telling you about, but they go to France, and she was saying that when they go in to go and look at the old houses, like castles and mansions and stuff like that, and everything's left as it is, it's a lot of the times is because it's bad luck to take anything that it doesn't belong to you, from those houses, like, when you take it's bad luck. So in another channel, like the same, but these guys were, I don't know, they were also, I don't know if they were German or something because they had an accent, but it was in English. And they said the same thing. Like, we never take anything from anywhere, because people were saying in the comments, how come you didn't take anything? How come, it's so beautiful, like it's gold or yeah, and they're like, we, a lot of people say, like, how come we don't take anything? And it's because, one, we like to respect, too, because, like, it's bad luck taking stuff from a house like that. So a lot of the times that's why you see a lot of stuff still there, because people know, that it's bad luck to take things like that. But that's, I don't think I will ever.
So I wanted to show you my nephew Jay. He pulled up the haunted house. This is
McCarn.
This is McCarn. This is how it looked when we lived there, right?
Yeah.
When we lived there, this is how it looked. This is the most haunted house in the world.
That you guys live there.
If you watched Hill House,
That's watered down.
when I watched The Haunting of Hill House, it really scared me a lot, just because I've experienced things like that it was so scary to me, and it was like reliving everything, and I was like, damn, like I cannot sleep. I was so scared. Like lately I've been scared. Actually, I've been turning on my nightlight.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
haunted where we live now, but
Yeah.
I think we're just, I don't know. I don't know if that's a Filipino, a Mexican thing. You're just haunted all the time.
Seriously. So is it when?
Except for Sam. He's never haunted.
He's a hoe, that's why. Just kidding.
You know, really quick. So there was this one time, it was really quiet. And when we lived in McCarn, and it was really quiet. And I just heard Sam like, oh, help me. And I was like, oh my God, the ghost is getting him. Oh yeah, I had to say that, Mal. And I ran to Sam because I thought like a ghost was, harming him. No, he just had a cramp in his leg. Oh my God,
You're already Ghostbusters on the way.
I'm like, I'll protect you.
You're like the lady got her. But you know what? I think that TV was the haunted TV because every clicking you're saying like you will hear everything every time something will happen, you will hear that click on the remote. So and then it was always kind of near the TV. So that TV, or maybe it was bringing that bad energy or the huh?
Rose wants me to show you the olive tree where the guy sat.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. That tree's still there, right?
Yeah.
Why is it so dark and scary? This is the olive tree.
Oh, it looks creepy already.
In front of, and it's pitch black, and you would only see his like outline.
Oh yeah, no.
And,
huh?
What tree is that?
The olive tree, McCarn.
Not the peach tree, olive tree.
Not the peach tree, the olive tree. Oh, Sam wants to know what tree that was. That's why our son's a demon Samson. But yeah, what was I saying? I think that the TV, like how they say they get the energy, like so probably was getting the energy out of the TV, and that's why it was so close to the TV, or it was somehow connected to the TV. That's my theory. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm not an expert.
Because what if
that was my ghost right there.
Wow, your ghost has legs.
He has nice, sexy legs. Good. But that Mel, he was just saying remember the knocking on the back door. I remember you telling me that story. Share it with us.
So Josie had told me a story when she was young, because when they were small, they used to go to that house because who lived there? McCarn.
Oh, Uncle Iska and
so they would visit like
Richie's
grandparents, and they were little, so they would be watched over there. And Josie told me that they would hear knock. She remembers hearing it like,
yeah,
and they would hear it in the closet, or they would hear it anywhere, like they would hear knocking. So I, not that I was expecting it, but I knew like that was one of the stories. So one night I was sleeping, and everyone was sleeping. I had my door open. Rose always leaves her.
Oh, crap. He scared the crap out of me. Sam, can you get him? That's just so. I'm like looking at you, and he has to go bathroom. Sorry, guys. I just saw you. I was looking at you, and out of nowhere, I just saw something. Oh my God, he scared me.
So your son's scared too.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's cute. Oh my God, I'm like so into the story, like about the knocks.
Like, kid ghosts are the scariest, I think.
I
think kid go. Oh, my dog's out there barking at
probably. And his name is Ghost, guys. Their dog name is Ghost.
So one night I was sleeping and I just heard so we had a back door to the backyard, and Sam and Richie and Arnold had a friend who to knock on our door sometimes, just so he could come like cross over and go to Richie's house. Just like a short.
Yeah.
It was like late at night, probably like 12 or something, and I just heard, like, you could hear it in the back door, and the dogs were crazy in the back, really crazy, and I was like, what the hell? And I didn't want to open it, but I thought that's who it was, and I turned on the light in the back, and I looked out the window, and I see just the dogs like going crazy, and then it was a wooden door, and I just hear the knocking on the door, and I was like, oh hell no. And I opened the door, nobody was there. I freaking took the dogs inside because I was so scared.
Oh my gosh.
And I heard that several times. I think Mal did too, but no, that was scary.
Yeah.
No one heard it, but because I would think that Rose would wake up, knowing her. She got of an evil.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom, the week, I don't know if I talked about it last week or not. I don't remember. But my mom, the week that I was going to start the podcast, she sent me a video of my little sister. Like I said, my mom, where she lives right now, things happen. And she sent me they have the camera, like the security camera things. And they have one on, I believe it's my sister's window. I'm not sure. But they have the camera, and then my sister heard knocking on the window, and she sent me the video, and you can hear the knocking. I'll send you the video, but you can hear the knocking, and there's nobody there.
Sorry, Ghost
Your
is
dog is going crazy. It's like the ghost can see ghosts. But yeah, like, so I know that the whole knocking thing, that scares me because you know how they say, like, if they knock 3 times, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, like the whole, also too, like you were saying, like how if you hear something, don't respond. Sometimes I hear things and I'm like, and I answer, like, especially my name, and sometimes I hear, like, if it sounds like either Sam or the kids, and I know they didn't call me, I'll ask them, like, did you call me? And they're like, no. Huh?
You would text me and be like, I just heard someone say my name.
Yeah, and it's like nobody. But like I said, I'm like, I don't notice that it's happening till like happens, I hate that. But oh my goodness, I know you have many more stories, and I know, like, Rose and all of them, like, one day maybe we'll do one together with Jeanette and Allie. I would like to hear more. I know they have so many stories. But now okay, so you say the places that you will visit will be probably the East Coast, right?
Yes.
That's one place. And okay, one book or movie that you will recommend that I'm probably a movie, one that you have, for you it's the scariest that you recommend.
Dang, what movie scares me? It's so crazy because I've lived in a haunted house. I'm so scared, like, but yet I can watch scary movies in the background like nothing. Like, it's just like if it's a comedy act, whatever. I love it. That's what I always look. But I have too many. What's the scariest one that
One that you had to turn off and then watch it another time because you were pretty scared?
It was Annabelle, the one in the barn.
Yeah.
Or on the farm. That scared me because remember we watched.
Oh wait, we were watching together and we got scared. We stopped it. Yes.
It scared me just because it did remind me of the old house, so it really scared me. And the Bly Manor too did scare me the first time I watched it.
Which one?
Not Bly Manor, sorry. Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that one.
The Korean movies, that like scary ones. There's a lot. I like all scary movies, not the low budget ones. I mean, I'll watch, but
my mom loves all the low budget ones, especially she doesn't care.
I loves a low budget Lifetime.
Oh yeah, that's funny. But then, so I mean, Annabelle, like that's one. Anna just sent me one of the, but it's in Spanish that I guess they did they pick people to go over to the Warrens' house and they show the inside. And there's this guy that he went, and then they take him where they're buried, where the Warrens are buried, and then how the daughter, like the guy was saying, how the daughter, like she, what the movie, the other one that they made, like it's about the daughter,
Oh
and
yeah.
then how she's so scared, she doesn't like to talk about it, she doesn't like to do any of that stuff because how she's traumatized. I can't. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like I wouldn't want to talk about it. I wanted to keep those
I know.
vibes away. If I went through what she went through.
Mal said the scariest movie he's watched is Glitter. Did you see that?
Which one's that one? The one with Britney Spears?
With Mariah Carey?
Oh, Mariah Carey. Okay, wrong singer.
That movie.
I don't think I even remember that movie. But okay, so I'm gonna share a comic, and I think you will like this one, Erica. I got this cover. I really love this cover. It's from Something's Killing the Children, number 6. Her name is Erica.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I picked this one today. And this one, it's about she's a monster killer. She kills monsters, but then it's only kids are able to see the monsters, like that in the shadows. The monster in the shadows. And this one right now, this one's like one of the best sellers. But she is yeah, she's the only one. Adults cannot see it. Kids are disappearing in a small town, and one of the kids that he's able to survive, and he witnessed what happened, but they don't. They're not going to believe it was a monster who killed it. So this girl comes into the town, and she's the one who's killing, the monsters. So, this one, I'm sure probably you will like this one. This one's pretty cool. Like she's badass. Erika Slater. I don't remember her last name. Sorry, but this one's a really good book. It's one of my favorites, and I do recommend that one. And then movies. I have my list. I printed out. So we have a check mark. This one's for adults. Last time I recommended The Wailing, which is on Amazon Prime. And the next one is Rigor Mortis. Am I pronouncing it right? Rigor Mortis?
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's a Korean, also another Korean. Chinese? Okay, sorry. It's a Chinese movie. Sorry, guys. It's a Chinese movie.
I remember yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, we watched that.
That one's, it has good action, and also it's freaking creepy. It's really creepy, but it has good action. That one, I forgot to post the one from last week. The Wailing, I already posted, but I'll share the book and the movie, and then this one too. So you kind of know how to search for those movies. And I'm gonna share like a kids one, a kids movie. I also have my other list here. This one's bigger because I feel like that's what we are able to think of. Yeah. But I love Paranorman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Paranorman.
Oh man, that one it's
really
it's scary.
Good.
Yeah, it's scary, but then it for kids, I feel like it's scary. It's kind of like Coraline, it's scary. But then the story is so good as an adult. Like you get and at the same time, I feel it's kind of like The Ring type of thing because it's a little girl, it's all messed up. I wanted to ask. I know we send each other things like that. What do you think about Witches getting remake?
Oh,
the Witches with like the first one was with Angela.
I love Anne Hathaway. I love her, and I think it looks really good, even with the boy that's playing. It looks
really, and the grandma. It's supposed to be his grandma, right? On the new one too. I love her. She's amazing. She's an amazing.
Yeah, is it Octavia Spencer?
Yes, that's her. Yeah.
But
I
it's
love
a little different than the original one because she was talking about like a
like.
test is coming or something
Mm-hmm.
when they were in the elevator. Was it
Oh,
when they were in the trailer?
I have so many chills right now. It's crazy. Like, look, babe, my
That
skin is like
the
chicken.
the
I
original
don't
wig
know.
scared me. I couldn't watch
It was so creepy. I
it.
remember it was so scary. I loved it. You know, I love it, and I was little when I watched it because it came out like the 90s. It was the 90s. I think it was like early 90s when it came out, and now HBO is bringing it back, which they have good actors, so I'm sure it's gonna be good. But the other one, another remake, it's gonna be The Craft.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't know. It's hard like when they want to like redo a movie that's already like it was good where it's at,
yeah.
and more now it's like the new age. They're so
The only thing I do kind of like is they're actually using teenagers. Then, when we watched it, I mean, we were smaller, so we will see them probably, oh, that's how a teenager looks. I don't know. But now they're actually, but now as an adult, like, I feel like a lot of the viewers, they're our age, like they're older. But I know, I understand they're trying to get like the new generation and stuff like that to get into it. But, like I feel like it's gonna be like a teenage drama type of thing. I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's and then they show us it's kind of like the continuation because they do show the picture of Nancy.
yeah.
So
But I like shows that they have more power.
yeah. And I mean they call them weirdos, but they don't look like weirdos. I wish they're too pretty. Like I wish. I mean that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wish they would like actually okay they do look like weirdos. But they I don't know, maybe because of the things that they do they call them weirdos.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it is. We'll see how
good.
Yeah, we'll see. Mel said the house in Connecticut. Oh, the movie, the house in Connecticut, the movie. Maybe is there a house that's a movie like that? But Connecticut, it must be haunted as hell.
I mean, that movie was scary because I think it is a true story.
Wait, the Connecticut house, a house in Connecticut.
Yeah, they've done several. Like I've seen so many different shows that they've sorry. But I've heard so many stories because there was a house and like down in the basement there was like a what is that thing when in the funeral home where they like
where they get the bodies ready or what
morgue?
The morgue or kind of thing. Yeah.
And the young boy lived in the basement and he used to hear stuff, but I think he was the real story that boy had like cancer or he had like epilepsy or something, so they didn't believe that it was haunted. Thought it was him, but that house was actually haunted and it triggered him, I think.
Oh shoot, that's scary. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, Erika. Well, it was so awesome. I was super excited to have you in. Literally like scary, and I know I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because
I mean not about the other scary stuff because it's like so much, so
we have to do this again. I mean, I'm gonna have a bunch of people coming back again because I know you guys have so many stories, and I want to have you guys, and definitely I want to have Jeanette and Elvie over. But yeah, sea monster movies, or do you guys believe in stuff in the ocean? Oh, I totally believe there's monsters in the ocean. Like I'm sure it's freaking haunted the ocean. Like imagine how many people have died out there. The Titanic people, I'm sure Rose and Jack. Oh no, wait. Rose survived. Jack's out there hunting, looking for Rose.
Rose Labuen is haunting the ocean.
But yeah, any sea monster movies. Sea monster movies. The only one, The Host, but it's not really the sea. It's like a canal thing. The Host. That's in Korean. It's a Korean movie.
What?
The Host.
It's on Hulu actually.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, so look
Erica
for that
knows.
one. The host. Huh?
Erica knows.
Yeah, no. It's okay. Erica, it's a
Yeah.
Korean movie. Sounds like Erica knows.
Like
Um,
a thriller.
yeah, that one's really good. I really like that one. It's the same. They're the same people who made Parasite.
Yeah, it's the
Right?
same guy. He was also in both the guy and the host, the dad and the daughter were both in Snowpiercer with Chris.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna have to have you back again, and then with the rest of the family to share the stories. Thank you so much. I really appreciate these
Thanks. So
coming in. Thanks, Maho.
I was so scared. No,
Huh?
we're not going to sleep tonight.
Oh heck no, I'm not. I'm gonna have both of the kids sleep with us again. They slept with us last night, so they're gonna sleep with us again. I need them close to me. uh, of course. Like I said, I was so excited to have you over and share your stories, um and also because we're family. It's my sister.
My
Yeah.
host,
My whole sister. Yeah, and like I said, you have great stories, and until next time, then, and wait, we'll talk after we're done here. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you guys, anybody wants to come over and tell me your story, message me on Instagram, Mama Comic, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
thank you for joining my YouTube channel.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah, subscribe and like. Bye.
Bye.